second half especially. So, just real short, real sweet, but really happy to get the win. It was hard fought. Obviously, you're in Big Ten play. It's going to be that way each and every week, and we certainly anticipated that. Today, a lot of respect for Purdue. Tough defense to move the ball against and, do some things. And then, their offense had really, been looking good. So proud of our guys in all phases. Certainly a lot to clean up, a lot to play for. And just told them to enjoy the win. Hopefully we grew a little bit today, and we still have plenty of room for improvement. That's obvious. So we'll worry about that tomorrow. But right now, just really happy to get the win and get a Big Ten win. That's always a good thing. So throw it out for questions.
You look at the play of their defensive line. I think they coming into today. They had 3 sacks. Today, I think they ended up with 6. What did you notice that I wouldn't say was different, but better today than maybe in the previous 5 weeks?
Just told Gary and Ed, we pulled out the pass rush drill on Wednesday. I've been forgetting to do that or suggest that, and so we did it Wednesday. It seemed to work. I'm joking, but no, it was a good effort by all the guys. They as I said, I think I said before, sometimes it's just a matter of making quarterbacks uncomfortable or getting them off the spot, not just sacks. Sacks are always a good thing, but there's a little bit more to it. And but that being said, today was clearly the best job we've done. Thought the guys really worked hard and dug hard out there, and the quarterback, a lot of respect for him. What a competitor! But he gave us a chance to get there a little bit too. He didn't always get the ball out. So, but just more than anything, it was just a bunch of guys, and it wasn't just one guy. A lot of good effort out there.
What has it been like to see Caleb the last 3 weeks just deal with the injury? How have you kind of seen him get through that?
Well, you got no choice. It's unfortunately part of the game, and came back a little quicker than maybe I would have anticipated based on what I was hearing a couple of weeks ago. But it's been steady, and I was skeptical Monday and Tuesday, quite frankly. For a running back with an ankle injury, you always worry about that. But he looked like he's 100%. And good to get him back. We're not going to get Cade back, but I think we'll get some other guys back at some point. And obviously, Luke's out too. So, anybody we get back, that's a benefit because, the more we can share the load a little bit, that'll be good for us.
He can go 6 for 21. What do you attribute kind of the shortcomings there to?
Well, you guys saw him throwing, and I'm certainly not an expert on quarterback play, but, from throwing baseballs, I know this. If you press or if you try to, do too much, sometimes the ball sails, and I'm guessing that's probably what it was. But I thought he, kept his composure, and then a couple of them we didn't help him on again. Where catch, got to make the makeable plays, and we didn't always do a great job of that. But he hung in there, kept doing a good job, and that last one he threw down our right side and it looked pretty good to me. So hoping that was going to be a little bit more open from where I stand. It looks like the guy did a pretty decent job covering, and an excellent throw and a great job by Eric to finish it.
Was there any thought to go to Joe and
for what? Joe and Levis?
Yeah.
Why? During the game?
Yeah.
No, the answer is no. No, Deacon's our quarterback right now. Yeah. And that's no offense to Joe, but that'd be kind of silly. Make a change.
How about the play of the offensive line and how much improvement they showed today?
Yeah, I thought, I just told Gary on this, again, same thing. I thought, from standing from the sideline, anxious to see the film, but I thought we showed a little more maturity out there, a little more girth, and some presence out there. So overall, really, from the sideline, it seemed great, and I'm anxious to see the tape. And talking about getting Caleb back, LeSean looked more like LeSean today. It took him a while to get started last week, but in the fourth quarter, he looked like a Big Ten back. If we can get the line plan the way we hope they can, and they've been fighting through some stuff too, and that would certainly help us. We're the kind of team we're going to need everybody, and every little bit is going to help. So. That was encouraging for sure, and really proud of those guys.
How critical was that first drive coming out in the second half? Only led to a field goal, but it really seemed like that kind of kick-started the offense a little bit more in the second half.
Yeah, it did. I'm not a big stat guy, but one thing that jumped out, if you looked at Purdue stats, they killed it. They have been killing it in the third quarter this year. It's ridiculous. I think it's 49-14. So, just told our guys, I know what they're saying over in their locker room. This is our quarter, and so our guys responded. And to get points is always important. To burn some clock, it's important, and that's it's important for us the way we play and have to play. So it was really big. And then, the unfortunate part, you can say this and that, but potentially we left 10 points out there today. Had a chance down the red zone for a touchdown instead of a field goal, and you like to think we're going to make those other 2 field goals. So. but nothing's automatic either in sports. I understand that as well. But those little things are making a game not that we would have had control, but it would have been a little bit better for us if we were executing on those things.
Mason Richmond was questionable on the injury report. How close was he to not playing today?
I didn't think he would play. Frank answer, yeah. So it's he got up off the mat and was able to perform. That's credit to him, really credit to him. So yeah, I think it looked good. When I went to bed last night, but he moved around a little bit and did okay.
Eric Hall's production has skyrocketed in the last 2 weeks. What have you seen from him, and how important is that? Getting a quarterback acclimated with a weapon like that.
Yeah, I mean it's not the same as last year, but when Sam went down, Luke spiked a little bit, and I think it's probably the same thing. And Luke's a big loss. We all know that. He's not coming back, and it's a shame, but that's football. And so Eric, to his credit, is getting better every week. I think he's got a great attitude. That hasn't changed. It was that way when he showed up here. So I'm really glad he's on our team. It's fun to see guys make plays, and feel good about things, and it's a real plus for us.
First 2 weeks have been kind of tough on the ground. I realize getting a playmaker back really helps, but just how nice was it to see the ball move on the ground?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, if you can run the ball, it just gives you such a better chance to be effective, and that's the last touchdown score was all set up because we got a good run on third down, and that was our goal, to get it up in there tight, and then it set that play up. But if you can't run the ball, I don't know what we would have called on 3rd and 5 from that spot. So I'm glad we didn't have to go to that. But yeah, I mean, if you can rush the passer and then if you can run the football, it makes life a little bit better for sure.
Then speaking of that third and short call, throw Zach Orworth on the field, I think it was his first ever snap.
Yeah, it probably was.
Scoozy's out there too. I mean, what do you think of that play call in that moment?
Well, looked pretty good to me. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm glad. And whoever's in's in. I mean, you run out of guys, you got to play guys that are there. And Zach hasn't played at all. Scooz jumped in a couple weeks ago, did a really nice job. So happy for him.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe I saw Caleb Brown out on the field today.
Correct. Personal reasons.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Defensive line held a little meeting. Were you aware of that? And what did you think of their performance?
They probably should have more meetings then. No, I wasn't aware of it, and I'd encourage them to keep meeting. Was that with or without coaches?
I think it was alone.
It's a player-led.
Okay, yeah.
Joe Evans.
Yeah, good. I'm all for it. I mean, usually player meetings are coincide with losing teams. That's my experience. But this is a contradiction to that, so that's awesome. Happy for him. Joe can keep having meetings as far as I'm concerned, if he guarantees that production.
Logan Lee had 10 tackles, but I'm not sure what's more impressive, the comments in the last half hour in this room about what he means to his teammates.
Yeah,
on the field.
I've joked about it, but Logan is like coaching a 40-year-old guy. We had Aaron Campman 20 years ago, kind of a similar guy, married guys, and just extremely mature in their approach, everything they do, and he's easy to coach because all he wants to do is just do well. High-achieving guy in all phases of his life. So, but also have to learn how to play football. He's dealt with injuries like a lot of guys on the team, and he's such a better player than he was 4 years ago. But that's the value of practice and being out there and just the repetition that's important. And I think it's important at every position, but certainly I know on the line play both sides, it's big. So credit to him, and it's great to see older guys having success with it when they've worked as hard as they have.
Did you comfort Bill at all during this game, or just try to relax him, or just let it play out?
I mean, nothing special. Just I told him I thought maybe he's pressing a little bit, and just to relax and just keep playing. You're gonna be okay. And whatever. Don't squeeze the club. Whatever it is. Or to me, try too hard sometimes when you're throwing a ball. I quit golf 30 years ago for a good reason because I couldn't get that concept down. But at some point you just got to let things happen. And don't overdo it.
Apologies.
Yep.
Noah Shannon, is anything materialized between Thursday and today as far as whether or not he could at least practice with you guys?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say we have encouraging news, but I think we have encouraging news. So I'll verify that Tuesday. But at least, hopefully, I wish everything had happened sooner in this whole scenario. And if the world were perfect, it would have. But it's any encouraging news is a good thing. So I'll know more Tuesday, but we're optimistic.
What would he bring, not only on the field, because we've seen that for 5 years, but
anytime you have a veteran guy, it's ironic. He's a 6-year guy. We had 3 6-year guys this year, and he's been out. So anytime you get a guy back with his experience and the quality of person he is, his leadership, that's always a plus. But I got to tell you, the bigger issue for me, not so much in May, but now as I've watched this whole thing unfold, to me the whole story is just the when you have to explain to a player or his parents something that doesn't make sense, right? You compare this to that, and the player and the parent can look at a million examples that are more egregious, and then you look. That was the hard part, to make something that can't make sense, try to make sense. So, and then to watch him walk around feeling like he's done something wrong, which I understand. He understands he broke a rule, but I mean, is that worth capital punishment? It's silly, and I think that that's been the hardest thing for all of us. And so I guess to answer your question, a long-winded answer here is, I'll just feel good for him to be back with the team, because he feels like he's let people down. You know, I mean, that's these guys got feelings. They're good young people, and his mom and dad have feelings too, and they're involved. So, if he had done something, that deserved that punishment, then great. And he was fine. We all figured it'd be 5-6 games, and he was on board with that and understands it. But anyway, so maybe there's some sunlight out there, and that's what we'll focus on.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.